Hello everybody, Jeff Siegel here with your Levels Log, and today I want to talk to you about one of my favorite topics, and it is not about what you eat, but it is about who you are as an eater. And I want to give a big shout out to Mark David, the founder of the Psychology for the Institute of Eating, because he's the one who really highlighted how important this topic is, right? And it helps shift the conversation away from what you eat, or this idea that health exists within a particular food, into this more dynamic systems approach where we begin to see health not as existing within a food, but as existing within the relationship between food and your body, and how your body is in relationship with your thoughts, your emotions, and your environment, and how all of these factors are going to play a big role in how any particular meal or food that you eat actually gets digested, processed, assimilated, and then ultimately turned into new tissue or excreted. And so one thing that has helped drive this home for me is noticing, by using the Levels Log, how one particular food has impacted my body day to day, but how that varies, right? So there is one protein bar that I like to eat that I pretty much eat on a fairly regular basis. And some days this protein bar causes a fairly insignificant raise in blood sugar. We're talking less than 10 points. There are other times where it has caused my blood sugar to spike up 20, 30 more points. And so you would think that this same exact food item, eaten roughly around the same time, would have a similar impact on your blood sugar. And what this is going to show is pointing us back in these other directions, back at the larger context of who you are as an eater. Because then it forces now me to look and say, hey, what was the difference between the time when I ate this one bar and it caused my blood sugar to go up 8 points, and this time when I ate the bar and it caused my blood sugar to go up 25 or 30 points, right? That is a 3-4 fold difference. That is significant. And this helps us realize how things like your emotional state, how wound up or anxious you are, how tense or stressed you are, affects your body's ability to maintain blood sugar. Right? There are times where I am feeling either particularly stressed because of some work thing, or just generally eating. I notice that I might get a little bit anxious just simply from the process of eating. And this is where the value of slowing things down, taking some deep breaths, can help shift your body back into that parasympathetic state, this place where your nervous system is better able to digest what you're eating. Other things like the speed in which I eat it, right? If I wolf down that bar unconsciously while I'm chugging away at the computer, I'm not even paying attention, it tends to cause a higher blood sugar rise, because all of that is hitting my system at once, versus slowing down, eating it, looking at it, paying attention to it, and chewing it thoroughly, right, helps even out my blood sugar rise from that item, right? Other things that come into play can be things like sleep, and how much did I sleep the night before, or what kind of movement was I doing in an hour or two before I ate that bar that may have then altered my insulin sensitivity. So the beautiful thing about the Levels app is it helps us contextualize our eating. It helps pull us away from these really reductionist paradigms that say this food is bad and that food is good, or these overly simplified notions that this one food item that has X number of calories and X grams of protein and carbs is going to do one thing to my body, when in fact it can do many things to my body, because all of these other dimensions come into play, and we need to consider those too. So this is just a huge plug for taking a more holistic, a more whole person approach to caring for your body and for your health. And until we begin to really examine and appreciate the ways in which your thoughts and your emotions and your context and your environment and all of these other things come into play, then we're always going to be making decisions about food from a really limited and often biased and misled mindset. And so I want to help all of us break free from that and enter into a place where we can have greater understanding and greater compassion for our bodies for trying to do the thing that it does best, which is just survive another day. All right, so until next time, this is Jeff Siegel here. Just breathe, smile, and appreciate all the different ways in which your body is working for you to help you have another breath.